word refugee, what comes to mind? Were they poverty-stricken, having no food or education? Millions of people around the world have no choice but to flee their homeland to escape war, genocide, torture, and persecution. I was one of them. I came to Australia in 2002. I am a social worker and a filmmaker. Let's see through my camera what people from different parts of the world have brought to our country, and how with courage they have combined to contribute to our communities.
My name is Baramia. I'm 26 years old and I'm the Communications and Community Development Worker at the Community Migrant Resource Centre.
My name is Dora Akech Achek. I am a South Sudanese born Australian. I came to Australia in 2003 with my family having migrated from a refugee camp in Kenya.
Whenever somebody asks me where I'm from, I always reply that I'm Afghan rather than Australian. I mean, there's no conflict between the two, but I identify strongly with my cultural heritage, even though I wasn't actually born in Afghanistan. I was actually born in Pakistan.
I was born in South Sudan. It was until the war displaced us and we seek protection in Kenya. The war has done a lot of damage to the country, to the people in the country. Over 2 million people died as a result of the war, and basically we found our way out of it.
My parents were actually refugees in Pakistan. They were forced to flee there from the Soviet invasion into Afghanistan. To begin with, my father and my mother were involved in the jihad against the Soviets. My mother more on an underground level as a student through the student associations in Kabul University. She'd write letters and, protest against the communist regime at the time.
Now in the camp it was not so great, not so flashy, but it was still a life to live as long as you're breathing every now and then. We had little education or no, with classes often filled with about 80 to 100 students, and with little resources, no books, no pens. You'd have to share. At some point when we started our classes, we started them under a tree and we used to ride on the floor. Moved in 2004 to Sydney and started going to St Ignatius Riverview, where I studied year 11 and 12. I then went on to do my BA at the University of New South Wales and completed that. I also went on to do a Masters of International Law, International Relations at New South Wales University, and I completed that recently.
All my time in Australia, I'm university graduate. I've done my undergraduate degree, and I'm currently doing my masters in primary education. I've found that it's not so much for me, so I'm looking to change it to secondary education.
So I did a certificate, a diploma in community services coordination. That basically was to give me an idea on how to run community service programs.
I volunteered with Football United, which is an organisation, non-for-profit, based out at the University of New South Wales. I volunteered with them as a coach, football coach, while at university, and I did that for about 4 to 5 years. So basically it was mentoring young people, coaching them in terms of football and then providing them with guidance.
I began working in 2006 as a youth worker with an organisation called Auburn Community Development Network, where I provided a lot of mentorship, all of which I use media or arts form as a main way to segue into some of the issues that young women were going through. So it's telling stories through drama, through theatre.
I worked in New South Wales Art Gallery as a full-time, and I was busy there too, and then I come to home and now I start my painting.
There was a position opening at the Community Migrant Resource Centre. I applied for that position about four years ago now, and I was successful in getting that position, and I've been working there ever since for the last 4 years, working with young people in the Western Sydney region, working on a range of different things.
I wrote plays, I performed plays. Most notably, I wrote, in my first show was called Shine, which was later developed into Walking in My Shoes, performed at Riverside Theatre.
Things from family and domestic violence awareness campaigns with young people to self-defense classes, healthy eating, physical activity, employment workshops and educational workshops, and just advocacy and community development work and case work. It's been a very interesting experience in the last 4 years.
I didn't want young people to go through the same feeling as I went through, being isolated, finding myself out of a space, settling in a new country with a new language, and everything around you was sort of new. So it was to look at how to address those issues, and that's what I did. I used theatre. I wish I could continue to use drama and theatre to influence life.
Do they look like poor, starving people? Or rich with determination, skills, and perseverance? All which they're ready to give to the Australian society. This Refugee Week, let us all pause and think about what the word refugee means to us. Let's recognize the courage it takes to leave what we know behind. With courage, let us all combine